What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Clown Blog. Apologies. We are out of the house at this moment, so we could not do the show or we wanted to do it. So drop your city and state in the chat. So you see the title? 6 million people behind on that money on those mortgages, and also Reality Bites. Now, if you don't know what Reality Bites is, unfortunately, put a 2 in the comments. If you don't know what the movie Reality Bites is, put a 2 in the comments because I realized not everybody here is old enough. And I had an older brother who was very much 8 years older than me. So we got to watch a lot of movies I probably should not even been up to watch. But what is Reality Bites, right? Reality Bites, it's all about the economy. Okay. So Reality Bites is a movie and it had cultural icons of its time. Someone like Aaron Clary could tell you about the movie because he watched that kind of movie, right? But Winona Ryder, which you would think of her now as the mom in Stranger Things, the mom in Beetlejuice, but at the time she was in Beetlejuice. She was a young actress, and a lot of her and Ethan Hawke and several other people were in this movie about Reality Bites. Essentially, coming of age, right? They were coming out of college, things weren't as fun anymore. They had cameras, they didn't like their jobs, the whole grunge era, the clothes they were wearing, very much Portlandia. Okay. Very much Portlandia. And this is what you saw with this election that just passed through. Reality Bites. And they are trying their best. Unfortunately, I believe a lot of people just don't get it. Right. And they're going to take the next 4 years trying to figure out, this puzzle. We don't have time for that. We just don't. Right. Because really what happened is, first they're saying it's the manosphere election, it's the masculinity election, and then they were like, well, what about all these moms that voted for Trump? And they're like, well, the moms see their sons not doing well, because that's really what literally most people keep saying. Well, it's so many young men in our society not doing well. I think it's every 1 in 3 men, 18 to 30 something years old, 31 years old, live with their parents. It's less for girls. More girls are, I guess, roommating it up, multiple girls in a house kind of situation. And so they're saying that this is the issue. This is why all of these people voted for Trump. It can't be it can't be all the million social issues and letting boys swim in girls sports and doing all this crazy stuff, because they literally disregard it as, oh, that's crazy, nobody cares about that. But if you're a father or you're a mother and you want to send your 6-year-old daughter to the bathroom, you care about that. You care about if some crazy man thinks he's a woman and goes in the bathroom with your 6-year-old daughter. You care about that. Is you should be walking her to the bathroom, but just in case you're not there, you care about those things. And so they don't understand that. And if you kind of saw the movie Reality Bites, or you kind of get the gist of what that's about, I think many people's parents just assume, that people will figure it out. Now, what do they mean they'll figure it out, right? They're thinking, hey, the 2000s, y'all figure it out, right? The economy sucked in the 90s, but then all of a sudden it became the feel-good 90s, right? The Bill Clinton years, right? We started hearing all this really good rhetoric about how good the 90s were. You could have a cheap apartment. You had cheap gas. You got to go to the clubs all the time and dance. And, you see all those videos from Atlanta in the 90s and the Freakniks and all this other stuff. See all this really good, feel good 90s stuff. So those people have gone up and just thought, hey, in the 2000s, my kids went to college. It didn't really work out like they want, but they're doing okay now. Well, some of these people have younger kids. And when I mean younger, I mean under 27, right? Under 27. And so they're looking and they're not doing well. They're really struggling, right? I think it's 60 some percent of all men under 30 don't have a relationship or a girlfriend, on paper. These are again surveys, okay? And so they're saying, well, what's going on? These people are isolated and disconnected. And this one girl described the Donald Trump people as the island for misfit toys. And I feel sorry, because that means she just doesn't get it. You overwhelmingly saw a mandate from the nation to turn the bus around. Hey, teacher, pull the bus over. This isn't working. We want to go back. And if these people cannot learn the lesson now of all these Americans wanting to go back, when you see that you have literally a really red screen in front of you. You have counties in New York, places all over the United States that were overwhelmingly voting for this person. And the popular vote, it's almost like these people are in a denial. Because reality right now sucks for them. Reality that what you want to do and what you want to vote on, people aren't vibing with that. People don't like it. They don't agree with it. Right? I just saw the Wicked red carpet, and there was kind of some like, inappropriateness, I guess. Gayness or something going on with two of the characters, like they were making a joke about it. And at the end of the day, people don't want that. You just saw this election. People overwhelmingly do not want it. And yet you still keep pushing this percentage of like less than 1% of the population. Like less than 1% of the population. Very small numbers. Very small numbers. Now, how does reality bite? How will reality bite for these people? It's going to have to be money. They're going to have to get their legs broken. Now, and I don't mean physically, like attacked. I mean like financially. Now, how do we know reality set in this summer? So they have the HUD report for housing survey. Again, this is a survey. So let's be honest, you could either do ×2 or ×3 to get the true number of what's going on in our economy. But this is a housing survey that they sent out, HUD report. And it shows 12% of people are behind. And this is why I think this report probably, you could double the numbers and you'd still be accurate, right? So 4.7 million homeowners are behind on their mortgage. 6 million renters are behind. And this number, and this is September numbers, of course. So we're now, it's November. Everybody's like, well, why don't you got some November numbers, Erica? Because that's how it works. We send the surveys out. It takes us a little time to get them back. It's always, real estate's always going to be delayed. And sometimes it's always going to be delayed 6 months, right? Right now they're telling you, oh, applications for mortgages went up. When really in a few months, they're going to come back and say, oopsie, applications for refinancing went up. Not mortgages, for refinancing went up, okay? But it takes them a month, 6 months to a year to get that data right. So this is September. Now, what did I tell you? August was close. August had 10 million people behind. And we talked about it. Now, this is September. Now, they asked the 4.7 million people that were homeowners, how many of them thought they were in risk for foreclosure? And like, we're upset about it. Less than 1 in 4. Why is that? We talked about it the other day with Diamond Dave on the show. We talked about it. He said something on this scale. I've said it multiple times. When you own your home, there are people who've been playing the paperwork game, the modification game, the whoops, let's go back and reapply again, let's refinance game for years. They'll be in their house for 4+ years going back and forth with banks. Going back and forth with banks. Okay? Over their house. This is a very common thing. What do y'all think? That's why I say this is a survey. That they didn't go straight to Wells Fargo, Truist Bank, all these mortgage companies and say, hey, what's the numbers? Because the numbers, I think, would be worse than this. This is the survey people are willingly filling out. All right? So they're sending out millions of these and they're willingly getting this data. Okay? So out of these people, why am I bringing this up to you? Why is this important? Spring 2025, you're going to see a ton of tax sales. This is why I said, even if Trump got in, it did not change the directory for some of these people. Now, why am I saying this? If you think about the average mortgage can be anywhere from $1,000, old mortgage, $2,000, $3,000 at most. Most people, you have people saying that they're $80,000, $90,000, $120,000 behind on their mortgage payments. That means they've been behind for years. They didn't get $80,000 behind on their mortgage in 2 months. They didn't get $80,000 behind on their mortgage in 5 months. They didn't get $80,000 behind on their mortgage in 1 year. These people have been struggling since the pandemic. And y'all keep kind of like, well, Erica, the pandemic lasted longer than 2020. Majority of the states were open and back to business by 2021. When they say the recession was really, I think, April or October 2021, y'all, I'm not right yet, but they're gonna prove me right in a year or two. And they're going to write all these books and articles about, well, really the recession started in 2021. You content creators, you business owners start to feel it really heavy in 2022. I personally noticed a massive shift in October 2023, right? And now I know we're on the other side of it. Now, what do I mean we're on the other side of it? What do I mean? I'm starting to get hit up every day from capital companies. I'm starting to get hit up every day from banks that we tried to work with for loans, business loans, construction loans, housing loans. All of a sudden, now the phone's ringing. Hey, we just want to touch base back with you. Elections matter. Elections matter, right? They already know. These banks are counting their ducats. They already know what they can do in a few months. January, February, March, April, baby, they coming. They coming to shake all the trees to collect whatever coins they can get, right? When you have capital companies now saying, hey, now we got some more money coming in, the lenders are willing to lend. Who are their lenders? Some of these people are private money. Some of this is hedge fund money. And the reason I'm so strongly adamant on this channel about talking about this is because I'm an actual person who's in business, who's buying things from warehouses, putting them online to sell them. I'm actually a person who's getting construction loans to do construction, right? So I'm actually physically seeing in multiple areas what's going on. Because in order for you to reach foreclosure, it takes on average, if I'm not mistaken, like 794 days to get to like the paperwork part of the foreclosure. So that's not even them foreclosing. That's them like, hey, we're going to start this process. That's like almost 2 years in before you even get the paperwork, where you ain't been paying your mortgage. So when you see all these people traveling, you see all these people living the little bit of local life, you see people out in their yards chilling all day, like, dang, don't they got a job? And if they did get back and get a job, if they did get back on track and they want to apply to refinance their house, they got to show something. They got to show something. Hey, I'm trying to refinance. I'm trying to cash out mortgage this house because of I got a new job. I paid up my mortgage a couple months. I'm back on track. Because if you really think about it, where could you sit in an apartment for the last 4 years and not pay rent? Nowhere. Not even in California. California ran out its foreclosure stuff, apartment stuff for COVID last year. It was the last in the nation. So they started shaking and getting these people out of here. We saw it in San Antonio. We saw it in Houston. They started filling them courts up and getting folks out of here. You saw the Midwest delayed the longest. I've told you about in Detroit. We had properties 2 years plus not paying. And then the people still saying, I don't have no money to move on. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't have no money to move forward? What do you mean you don't have no money to leave? You haven't paid rent for 2 years. What have you been doing with your money? This is the problem. These people haven't been paying for years, but what are they doing with the money? They going on vacations. They going to conferences. They going to look at Beyonce on show. They live in life. They live in life. All right. So a lot of these people are in a process. Yeah, the numbers went up, but they're not worried about foreclosure because they know this is a paperwork game. Once you get somebody in a house, it's very hard to get them out of a house. And this is why when people advocate against you buying a home, I don't trust them because there's so much more benefits in ownership. I remember this girl had liens on her and they start putting liens on stuff. Well, they couldn't put liens on any of her business accounts. And so we're talking to her. She's like, well, I'm fine. But if she was a W-2 worker and the money just went straight to her personal checking account, she'd be what? Up shit creek. She'd be not be able to buy groceries, not be able to pay her light bill, not be able to do a lot of things. I think it's in the best interest of many of these apartment complexes to work some type of deal out with these people. But this is just from the survey. So 6 million renters. 6 million renters are behind. 4.7 million homeowners are behind. That's a lot of people, y'all. And that's the Freely Information Survey. This is not even of the whole United States. So I truly believe the number is probably closer to 20%, right? Instead of the 12%. Or what would you say with 24%, right? Times 2. Uh, because in order for you to be 80,000, 100,000, $120,000 behind on your mortgage, that didn't happen in 2, 3 months. That didn't happen in 2, 3 months at all. So this election really was a like, hey, this isn't working. The economy's not working. The inflation's not working. I can't get caught up. I don't want to take an L and take a bankruptcy. That's what's happening right now. Right. So let me see. I see somebody said something. I've seen foreclosure listings rising quietly past 6 months. Good opportunity. It's good opportunity to have cash, but also you have to think about it. I'm telling y'all, January through March next year, while you're in a position, let me just put it this way: the election happened, and you see the thumbnail I have the Trump, right? From November 4th to March, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, we got a 5 month window. Now it's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be longer than that for sure. But there's a 5 month window where there's just massive, chaotic, wow number growth. And if you're online talking about 50-50, you're online arguing and squabbling and oh, doing all this stuff. No, no, no. This is the time every day, head down, making money, adding to investments, adding to your crypto accounts, adding to your stock market account. That's it. Like if you're a manufacturer, us putting in our orders to get stuff shipped. Because why? If you're worried about tariffs, depending on what your situation is. If you're a person building real estate, you're about to hit a stride again. The good time's about to roll again. Right? This is what people are not talking about. Tax sales are going to go up. Right? I'm personally aiming for land in this certain area in Central Texas because I know people been sitting on the land for a long time. Right? And as the economy in Central Texas has been going crazy, that they could have sold when it was high. Now it's lower. You want to work on, unfortunately, people's fear of losing even more of money that was not real. Now, why do I say it's not real? If you've owned land here in the central part of Texas and for a while it was only worth 20 grand. Well, now they say, hey, it's worth 50 grand. Well, at the peak, they say, man, it's worth 300 grand. Now they come back and you say, well, now it's worth 250. In a few more months, they're going to say, now it's worth 200. They're going to come back even later and say, now it might be worth 100. Your fear of losing this hypothetical money that nobody's paid you will hold you back. It will cause some people to sell because they're sitting on this hypothetical sale that hasn't happened yet. Oh my God, I'm losing value. But you didn't sell to get the real money to know the value. It's the same thing with the stock market. Everybody's talking about, well, the stock market doesn't affect Main Street. Only if you don't let it. Only if you're not invested. There's a lot of rigmarole going on these platforms. I personally been working on Facebook ads all the past month and YouTube ads. I literally tried to put an ad on today and it said it's too controversial. So they want you to be spoon-fed baby applesauce food on these platforms. They want you to be in nice, rosy sleep denial, focusing on Deion Sanders and other football players. They want you in this like deep sleep coma of hopium, right? Donald Trump won. I can just go back to doing what I was doing. No, you cannot. If you're 4.7 million homeowners behind on your mortgage in the hundreds of $1,000s, $80,000, $60,000, baby, what you talking about? It's all hands on deck in your house. It's all hands on deck in your house. There is no, hey, Donald Trump won, we gonna chill. No. You're in a personal fire. Like you're in a personal situation that needs to be fixed. So non-judicial foreclosure states move faster. It does, but even in the data and the numbers with them, with the paperwork, they have a lot of lawsuit situations where it's military, government agencies, police officers, nurses. Oh, you're supposed to give them an extra 6 months or extra 3 months or this or that. A lot of these states are not moving fast because the paperwork and the lawsuit back to back. You can buy a foreclosure with a really good home equity loan and you got the courage to gamble. Yeah. Because Skynet's a hater. Skynet is just a hater. Listen, they won't. They won't because they don't understand why they lost. Right? When I go on the internet and I see these people say, "Well, my wife divorced me, and I'm a great guy," and they'll be talking about it. You're like, "Man, this is terrible. How? When did you divorce? Last year? Oh no, like 11 years ago." What, sir? Sir, you must already have gotten therapy and went on about your life and on with the next. You're rehashing situations that should already be moved on from. Now, the problem is you have to recognize the number one step in all therapy. What is your role in this situation? And most people hate to hear about accountability and what's their role in a situation. What role did you play? What did you do to contribute to the problem? But if you listen to these people out here, I never did anything. I was the best man ever. And this woman took me and my money, and I'm homeless now, and I've been in financial dire ever since child support, everything got me down. And you'd be like, sir, you don't have your kids full time. You can work Monday through Friday as long as you want, all day and all night if you want to. There's nobody stopping you. But you don't hear that part of the story. Nobody wants to talk about that part of the story. So when I sit here and talk about and bring Diamond Dave on and say, hey, you don't have to work 2 jobs, but you do have to put some mental capital into it. We talked about relationship capital, financial capital, and what? Mental capital. You have to put some mental capital to decide what's the budget for me? How am I investing? How are we moving forward? And a lot of them don't want to do that. Jared, you already know IPAs, income producing assets. Income producing assets. They're going to have to let some stuff go. Thank you so much, Ray Gunn, for $12 super chat. Diamond Dave told us why they lost a few weeks back. Who lost? I missed it. Facts. Waiting on the government to improve your life. It's never the answer. It's never the answer. The government cannot fix your life. This is why these people are coming across this border so hard. They looking at us and they go, all you got to do is get up and go to work and pay your rent, and y'all can't even do that. And I'm not saying, well, Erica, what if I can't find a job? You know, a lot of y'all message, I'm a felon, I'm a this, I'm a that. Baby, there are programs that are paying. There are programs that are paying for free HVAC training, right? They're paying for free roofing training. They're paying for free services so you can be active in your community. Now you can say, Erica, oh, what if my legs, my arms, my this, my okay, that's all broken. What can you do with your mental capacity? What is in your mental space? What can you do mentally to create more money, to grow a business, to grow some type of skill that will change your life? And depression is a real thing now. I don't want to take away. Listen, somebody's gonna come back later and be like, Erica, you're being horrible. If somebody divorced somebody, they're depressed, stuff happens. This is true, but you're not allowed to sit in depression for 10 years. You're not allowed to be on these videos online crying for 10 years straight saying that I never got my life back right. We have people in this society saying they never recovered during the Obama years. They never recovered from 2008. They didn't recover after 9/11. That was 25 years ago. At what point do we hold you accountable? See, the problem is y'all are watching a lot of these videos. And this is why I'm saying reality bites. That's the whole point of this video. You're watching a lot of these videos online. Well, I can go live overseas and pay $200 a month for rent in Mexico. I don't speak Spanish. I don't even like spicy food, but I'm going to go over to Mexico and pay $200 a month for rent. With what reoccurring income? With what reoccurring income? Where? How? Right? So I watched the thing the other day. The lady was saying how she made $400,000 a year teaching people how to leave America, right? And not blooms, like corporate America, productive Black women. I'm like, great. I want them to go wherever they want to go, right? I get on men as much as I get on women on this channel. If you're a 45 to 60-year-old Black woman and you go in traveling all over the world, what you can do. At some point, you either come across a couple things. One, you got grandchildren and you want to be around them, so you got to come back. 2, the cost of prescriptions and exercises and all kind of other stuff. Where's your prescription? Are you getting it overseas? What's the doctor overseas that's going to make sure you get your prescription? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be ageist or nothing. But when you start hearing some of this stuff, you go, okay, that's a fantasy. And when the girl told her you need to charge more money for the service you're providing, people in the comments like, well, everybody don't work in corporate America. Everybody don't got a lot of money. Why are you telling her to charge us? Because see, that's when it becomes real. When you have to pull money out your pocket, and we're not even talking about crazy numbers. We're just talking about pull a little bit of money out your pocket if you support that content. Simple numbers. If 200, I think was it 20,000 people pay her like $25 or something. It was let me pull out my second calculator because I hate doing math out loud. I'm trying to think exactly what the lady was telling her, but I'm saying this all to let you know, reality bites. You're going to have to figure out a plan, and the financial plan has to make sense in order to survive. All right, so let me go on real quick. That's my other phone. Sorry. 25 times 20,000 people. That's $500,000. Now you're gonna say, well, Erica, why should 20,000 people pay her $25? Why for 5 years straight have people been watching this woman talk about moving overseas, helping you set up passports and all this stuff, and they don't want to pay her? Because it's fantasy. No mad capitalist is charging you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. No mad capitalist has conferences overseas in Mexico and other places charging you $1,000 to get in the door. And they got 1,000 people show up. They got hundreds of people show up. But they're telling this black woman, no, don't charge us. We just want to sit here together and fantasy about going to live overseas in our 40s and 50s when our kneecaps ain't great. When we got kids and grandkids that we send money to every month. So how are we going to do that when we go overseas? People will pay you online to hear fantasy. Instead of saying, again, I don't want y'all building $10 million businesses. That's not what I'm on here to do. I want you to be worth $10 million. I want you to make something that's long-term makes sense for you, right? I know a few older black ladies in the Carolinas that own a couple rentals. They live great. They go on vacations all the time. Their life is a life of ease, right? You ever hear that? Life of ease. They're relaxed. They ain't stressed. If we go and eat dinner and somebody card decline, they just swipe their card and keep on going about their life. You want to aim for a life of ease, but nobody wants to put in the plan to live so. Right? Today I saw a white man. I just want to make it very clear, saying you can't afford to live on one income. And I can just show them countless videos of women saying, no, I'll just budget. I'll budget even less. But what happens is, if you're a man, put a one in the comments if I look. Are you still there? Can you hear me? Put a one in the comments if you still can hear me. Okay? Let me start over because I know it was glitching. If you're a man, you're making $60K a year. All right? You done married some woman. You got an apartment. But see, here's the problem. She could stay home. But y'all both got to be agreeing. What's the budget? What's the plan? See, most people, what has happened is they done went out and got the Hellcat. They done went out and got the brand new pickup truck. They done went out and got this really over-the-top expensive vehicle. So they got to work, and almost every dollar after they check, do this. They got their head above water just much, that's all. So when you come along, now it's like, oh, Jesus, thank you. You come along and take a little bit of the weight off me, a little bit of weight off me on the mortgage, a little bit of weight off me on the light bill, and now we get to be silly together and spend that excess money doing stupid stuff, going to dinner, doing whatever, going on trips. Instead of saying, if we just have regular paid off used cars, one of us can stay home with our kid. We don't have to be arguing about the cost of things. And you can show countless videos of this. But what it would take would be a man going, I agree. My paycheck is yours. This is all the numbers we're going to pay every month. And this is it. People don't want that level of responsibility. That's the truth of it. People, they want the crown, but the crown is heavy. Heavy is the head of the man or woman that wears the crown because it's heavy, right? If you ever watch anything about, Queen Elizabeth, boy, heavy. Her daddy died basically because he wasn't even supposed to be king. His brother decided he didn't want to be king, so then they put somebody else up, and he died early from cancer. Okay, and they smoked cigarettes. They chain smoked cigarettes. That whole family, except for her, she didn't drink or chain smoke. And so what you're understanding is somebody has to do what? Be responsible. So heavy is the head that wears the crown. Reality bites, right? You're going to college. I heard these two people in the restaurant the other day. Yeah, I was being nosy. While we were waiting on the waiter to come, they were talking about how they're going to go live in New York City. And they're so excited to live in New York City. And the other person goes, well, you ain't really from New York because you're from Westchester, New York or something like that. I might be saying it wrong. It's somewhere 30 minutes outside of New York City, right? So they're like, oh, you're not even from New York City. And I go, but that's the reality. Yeah, y'all may talk about going to New York. He's going back to New York, sort of. He's going 30, 40 minutes near New York. Like, he ain't going to be in New York City, but he may film videos or be on Instagram acting like he's in New York City. That's the reality. Because he can't afford it. It's real easy to sit around this town. It's a college town, and hear these young people talk about they're going to move to New York and they're going to do all this. They're going to go to Miami. They're going to do, and I'm like, you got $5,000 a month rent for Miami? You got $5,000 a month rent for New York? What job are y'all signing? What job are y'all going to go to New York and do? And I was listening to them talk about they were going to work in the financial district, but they didn't sound like a person that was really going to do much in the financial district. Maybe the financial district in Texas is Dallas. You can get a financial job anywhere. So what you're seeing is reality is biting for people, and that's how it must be. That's how it must be. MSNBC is going to get sold off. Why? Because they have terrible ratings. And people didn't agree with the analysis. The country didn't agree. The whole country didn't agree. So now the whole country didn't agree. You have to deal with the reality that the country doesn't agree with you. You have to deal with the reality that the math isn't mathing. And this is what people are trying to prevent. They're trying to prevent reality. Right? I say it all the time about these men and women. I'm going to go overseas and I'm going to do this. It's a fantasy till you do it. For those of you in some of my private groups, you already know what my game plan is for next year. We've already busted the calendars out. We already been filling out the notes. We already have projects in the pipeline. We already have orders for January, February, March, April coming to the warehouse, going to Amazon, going to TikTok fulfillment, going over here. These things have to be put in place. Somebody has to be responsible. You want to go spend a month in Asia? Things have to be ordered. You want to go fly in the lay down bed so you ain't got to be sitting in cramped economy? Your kneecaps hurt? You got to pay the cost. So, some things cost, right? You want projects being done and completed while you're gone out of town for a month? Guess what? There has to be responsible people lined up. All this stuff is reality bites. And what you're coming across is people hitting the reality bites wall. That's what they're hitting. Oh, shit, I have to be responsible? Oh, I pay for that? I take care of myself? You do. Michelle, you already know these people. I was the best man ever. There's a really funny guy at our church, and he got divorced. And we knew why he got divorced, but that's a whole nother story. And he knew 6 other guys. He's like, I know 6 other guys. The best guys ever. Good Christian men, and they wives divorced them. And he starts naming them off, and we're all like, come on, man. Just women leaving y'all in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to leave today for no reason at all. And get out in these streets and have to date terrible people. No, that's not believable. Nobody believes you. Cut it out. Need more people. I loved it hurt. I loved it hurt. I loved it hurt. They're hiring Border Patrol officers like crazy. 20K, 30K bonus and recruitment ongoing in Detroit. Listen, if I was in Detroit and I'm angry and I'm mad and I'm living in cheap housing and things are getting more expensive even in Detroit, yeah, I might go sign up for the border, hit people in their legs for Canada. Or go to, I mean, you can cry for 9 years if you want to, but guess what? You're going to wake up and life still lifing. There's a viral post of this girl posting her dad. And she said, my dad going through midlife crisis. He bought a Jeep moved to Florida, lost 100 pounds, and he goes out all the time now. You know, he's very happy. And everybody in the comments, it went viral. And it's a white man. You can tell he's big kind of podium. They were like, "This is what happens when you realize life is short. This when you realize like your kids are grown now. What are you gonna live for? This is what happens to you. You know, they make fun like after divorce, but they're like, your dad is living his best life. This is great. This is great. Your dad bought a Jeep Wrangler. He's got a sleeve tattoo. He's lost 100 pounds. Great. He just woke up and realized I might die in the next 10, 20 years. I better get to living. That's what that is. Plumber training for felonies. Yeah. Listen, we've been having passports. And there's several people here on this YouTube that take their kids with them. I told y'all, there's a young lady, I followed her and I was just shocked. She got like 9 kids and she just left, like she went divorced not even 2 years ago. Picked up, went to Africa, left the kids for a whole month, turned around, married to some young man. I said, listen, come on, you 40 something. What a 20 something year old African man marrying somebody in their 40s for? You already got 9 kids. You gonna have some more kids? You could. But I want y'all to pay attention. Like the passport trucking and driving is on both sides. The bestest man. People pay for fantasy. They pay for fantasy every fucking day. When I put those YouTube ads up the other day and it said my videos were too controversial, I said, oh my God. I knew I had to go back in the garage and record namby-pamby, baby sauce, applesauce videos. Would you like a better life? Is life giving you a hard time? Would you like to have a better financial future? Here's some videos that could help you with your financial future. Maybe, just maybe, you want better future. Like, oh my God, is that what I gotta do, YouTube? I got to go do namby-pamby? Okay, YouTube. I see what it is. Cool, right? People want to pay for fantasy. Life of leisure, right? Is it glitching some more? Let me know. Yeah, Jared, listen, they be out here with $1,000 car payments. Talking about a traditional woman. Yeah, baby, y'all got to get on sync with each other. All these people could go home, but what it requires is a high level of responsibility. If you know you a fuck up at work, let's just go there. You know you goof off at work. You're not serious about your work. You're not dedicated about your work. There's no way you can have a wife that stay home. You already know that about yourself. Because if it's responsibility left up to you, you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be like, well, I got this car, the car taxing me, I went out and bought some shoes. Yeah, I went and got my hair cut. I did whatever I wanted to do. That's what a lot of y'all want. You want just enough room for error to mess up. Just enough room. There you go. The crown is heavy. It costs to be the boss. Miami, it is brickle. Do you want to live in the brickle? People move to Canada. Listen, Canada is getting ready to get rid of 1.5 million people. Canada is notorious. Basically, Canada think they slick. Canada used all them Asian people to come over to Vancouver and buy up all that property. Now the property through the roof, they can't get nothing done. 80% of all the homes bought in Vancouver were bought by Asian foreigners, mostly Chinese, right? And now Canada like, well, we need to get rid of like 1.5 million people. What? Toronto, full of African immigrants. Full of them. Full of Caribbean immigrants. Oh, we got to get them out of here. We got to get these people out of here. Why? Because, see, Canada has this make-believe system where you can get free health care. You get all this free services. And look at all the free services we got. Somebody has to pay it. It comes from somewhere. The taxes are crazy in Canada. People flood from Canada border over to Detroit, over to Chicago, and over to Seattle to do what? Go to their hospitals. Go look up the data on Chicago, Seattle, and also Detroit hospitals. It ain't Detroiters going to the hospital, it's Canadians. They're coming across the border to get the services faster. It pays the cost. Come on, tell them, Brandy. It's Ben's sisters going to Jamaica every year. You know Jamaica's on the watch list. We ain't supposed to be going to Jamaica right now. Y'all been going down there getting robbed too much. Okay. There have been people going to Haiti. They did a whole video, a whole MSNBC special about all these black women that went to Dominican Republic and they married these men. And the men couldn't get a visa out of the country. They couldn't get their birth certificate. And I said, well, what was going on? They were living and born in Dominica, right? Dominican Republic, but they were Haitians. So Dominican Republic, like, I don't care if you marry this woman or not. You ain't leaving. I ain't gonna give you no paperwork to leave. And the black woman can't cake off enough money to convince somebody to give him some paperwork to leave. So they out here on these videos like, my whole husband, he's stuck in Dominican Republic. He's stuck. Dominican Republic won't act right. But see, y'all busy trying to run over to people's countries and talk about anywhere is better than America, Erica. It is. Tell me about it. Imagine being somewhere and you can't leave the country. Imagine living your whole life in Dominican Republic, speaking Spanish, working at these restaurants, working at these hotels, taking care of people, taking care of your family. And then when you want to leave, you can't leave the country. And they won't give you proper documentation, so you can't leave. So I don't fault these Haitians for however they can getting out. I don't fault these Dominicans for however they get on a boat, slip on a plane, however they get out of here. I don't fault them. But let me tell you something. You ain't going to beat nobody like that. You're not going to beat the Dominican barber that had to struggle to get here. He'll cut hair every day from sun up to sundown for $5 if he got to. Because he was having to do that anyway. He was having to do that anyway. Now he gets the freedom of choice to buy a thing or two. Come on now. See, I see how you flip that. I see how you flip that. I feel you. I see what you're saying. You can do it right now. Do it right now. Baby, he gonna get that green card. You might as well stop doing YouTube if you gotta do fake videos. Man, they gonna do fake videos. They gonna do all of it. I had a client that's 94 and his wife is 95. He owns a construction company. He wants me to get my building inspector's license. I would do it. I would do it. All right. Well, that's what y'all president said. He said he about to get some of y'all up out of there. Some of y'all about to get up out of Toronto. Y'all gonna get up out of Vancouver, and they gonna get y'all up out of there. Y'all getting up out of there. The people are literally leaving. Canada has the same population of California, and they talk about we can't take it. We got to get at least 1.5 million y'all out of here ASAP. Out of here ASAP. Right? Sweden paying people to leave. Yeah, same thing. These countries wanted y'all to come in, right? They wanted you to come in. I'm going to say it the nicest way. Marry some of their people that are leftovers. Assimilate into society and go about your business. They don't want you to come in here like Jewish people and start buying up businesses and land and property and like dominate. That's not what they wanted. They didn't want that. That's not what they asked you to come do. But that's what some of y'all did. So they're not ready for that. They want you to leave now. Medical plus trip. You already know. Robbed and raped. It's not a joke on what's going on in these other countries. It's not. They literally, 2 of the people I know that went on a trip to India, they had 3 armed guards for a group of 9 women. What 3 guards gonna do for 9 women? He can't save all of you in the group. If it's only 3 armed guards and it's 9 women, there's only so much he can do. There's only so much he can do. But that's who they know not to mess with when they see groups with, at least a little bit of security. Somebody, because they know the security guard getting a little money. The tour person getting a little money. Okay, money flowing around. Tell you, when we was in Africa, the police had a cane on the hip. Like, did they bother you, ma'am? I said, they did. They won't play. People always think the grass is. Visit the country, just don't get married too late. It's better places, yet your taxes will be sky high. There's no such thing as free. There's never such thing as free. Never. But no, that's the thing. Ghostman Kang, this is the thing. What has happened the past 4 years? Since COVID, India has basically been on lockdown. HB1 visas, legal immigration has always been a thing. Kamala literally said before she started running, they needed 500,000 Indian people to come over here. They needed 500,000. And with chain immigration, if I'm coming because I need a job, I got to bring my wife, I got to bring my kids, I got to bring a friend. One person equals up to 12 people. One person equals 12 people. How do I know? I'm here in Austin, Texas, where they brought in thousands of Indian workers. And in 1 year, we had 42 Indian restaurants open up all over the city. And this year, we have an additional 20 opening up. They bring in the people. So when they're like, yeah, we want legal immigrant, we want doctors, we want Filipino nurses, we want Filipino teachers, we want upper working class skilled people. Yeah, all day. We do not need more people who just gonna sweep the ground. We do not need more people who clean up at construction sites. We do not need more people who can't do math. We don't need more of that. We got plenty of those. We don't need that. We don't need that. Legal immigration is great. It's the legal immigration that people have a problem with, for sure. Because those people have to go somewhere, right? We paid Chicago $387 million. They sticking people in schools. They closing out after Little League places. It's crazy. Like, no, we gave you $387 million. Put these people in some type of housing. Put them in a house. We gave you the money. Put them in a house. We gave New York almost $1 billion. Here's all these people coming to New York. And the people still don't get it. They're like, well, Texas shipped them up there. Was Texas supposed to just hold them? No, you're a sanctuary city. You said you'll take them. Here you go. Or you want me to just send them all to California? They want you to be mad with Texas and Florida for choices of policy and freedom. Everything has consequences. This is where reality bites. This is where the moms who are 40 something to 50, and a couple years ago, they voted for Barack Obama. Yeah. Now they're voting for Trump. It's always been white women that tipped it. White women tipped it last time for Trump in 2016. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Show me how you voted. And these people showed you how they voted. The country has spoken. We stop it immediately. Stop with the boys in the girls' bathrooms. Stop with the boys playing in girls' sports. All these people suing, getting their COVID money back. This is where reality bites. And the only way a lot of these people are going to wake up, because they just can't believe all these Americans. They were literally on a video, they're talking about, well, the people who don't read and the lowly educated voted for Trump. And then they said, well, then also these educated people voted for Trump. And then these people voted for Trump. If you really dissect America, 2/3 of our country just graduated high school and got a job. Only 1/3 of our country has like actual skilled labor. People think, nah, the community college is full. All these places are full. Majority of people you meet on the street have a high school diploma. But you don't need a master's degree to look at the economy, to look at the taxes, to look at the way the country's going, to see a grown man in the bathroom with your 6-year-old daughter, to go, this ain't it. This ain't it. That's not going to work for me. How do I make money in this? And how do I get my child removed from your environment? That's why Montessori schools popping up everywhere. That's why they popping up everywhere. Yes, 6 million people are really behind. 4.7 million, it's actually 10 million. But for the sake of argument, 4.7 million household owners are behind, and 6 million renters are behind. Now, this is for September. The numbers are always delayed. That is the HUD housing survey. Right now, if they're telling you 12% of people are behind this country, and this is just the survey, this ain't the banks. I think it's probably double that. It's probably somewhere there's 8 million homeowners behind on their mortgages and 12 million people behind on their rent. For sure and for sure. You see repos of cars going through the roof. That's the lingering effects of Turo folks and rental car people, and that's the lingering of that. That's just the last of that cleaning up. This guy was saying he saw cars that were completely bought brand new, maybe that same year being repoed. That means they never made a payment. That means they drove off the lot, And in January 2024, and they never made a payment. If it's already picked up by now, that means they never made a payment. They flashed on the ground for a few months, and then it was on. Whew. On the house, Patrick, I'm telling you, January through April, them people waited just enough. They like, is Trump in there? Okay, Trump's in there. That's why they talking about the pain coming, right? They're not talking about it from the perspective of, I haven't paid. Like, if you're $80,000 to $100,000 behind on your mortgage right now, you haven't been paying for years. Like, let's really do the math here. If your mortgage is, let's just for the sake of argument, say it's $2,000, $3,000. You don't pay your mortgage all year. That's only $24,000. You don't pay your mortgage for 2 years. That's $48,000. You don't pay your mortgage for 3 years. That's 60-some thousand. You don't pay your mortgage for 4 years. Now you at 80,000. Now you at 80,000. What have you been doing? What have you been doing for 4 years? Well, Erica, the COVID and the pandemic, and my girl had a baby, and okay, I hear you for all that. What have you been doing? You've had 4 years now. Now, maybe you say, Erica, COVID didn't stop to 2021. I hear y'all. We've talked about this. What have you been doing? These banks only gonna hold on for so much longer. They're waiting now. Trump in there. Inauguration is the 20th. Y'all lucky I ain't gonna go to DC because I might pop off. I'm scared, but I would love to go up there because I'm like, now it starts. Now the reckoning starts, and you got to figure out what side of this thing do you want to be on. Do you want to spend the next 3 years like, I don't know how these people voted for Trump. I don't know why everybody's so angry. I mean, the COVID happened so long ago. Why y'all still talking about that? You want to be one of them people, or you want to be one of those people that's like, hey, let's get into this. Let's get in this crypto. Let's get to this money. Let's buy some of these rentals because people will still need somewhere to live. Let's buy up some of this land. A lot of regulations going to let loose. Oil and gas about to be wild. About to be a wild party in oil and gas. Even more wilder than it is right now. At all-time record number pumping of oil right now in America. You have to decide what side of the fence you want to be on this thing. Nah, these ain't people getting Section 8. These people renting. Amazon's providing AWS training for Mexican nationals. When they get here, they ready to go. Listen, I'm telling you, I was on a plane. The woman had just left from flying to Mexico City. Amazon sent her to Mexico City to train people. And then they will send her to somewhere else to train some more people. Y'all. And she was black, okay? And she spoke the Spanish. Pay attention. When I see her talk about, well, I'm learning Spanish. Why would you learn Spanish, Erica? Baby, they don't care who doing it. Somebody gonna come in and do the job. Immigration is allowed to turn the faucet on and off when it's ready, and the government either side love your content. AA, here's the thing too. I want paying people. Let's just go there for a second. Who's more willing to pay? Now, taxes are taxes. We have 77% of all the taxes paid in America are by the baby boomers. And who are the baby boomers? Let's go over it again. People 60 years old to 79. Now you have the first baby boomers, 70, 79. Then you have second baby boomers are 60 to 69. All right. These people are paying 77% of all of America's taxes. We're talking about property tax. We're talking about state tax. We're talking about sales tax. We're talking about grocery store tax. We're talking about all the damn taxes. 20% of all white people in America are over 65%, 65 years old. So who do I need to come into this country to do what? Pay taxes. If I bring in somebody from South America who needs food stamps, who needs Section 8, who needs housing, who needs help, that does not put money in my pocket. Now, that put money in my sales pocket. When they go to the grocery store and use them EBT cards, that puts some sales money in my pocket. When they drive the roads, they put a little bit of toll taxes in my pocket. It moves the economy around, right? They have some kids, out of kids in school. The school district gets paid. Okay, those are different types of taxes. But I want the doctor from India that wanted to come over here and work at a $200,000 a year job. And his family. His family going to come here and buy houses. His family here going to come and start businesses. His family gonna pay money for years and generations to come. I want him. I want the European or the German who's gonna come here and start businesses and build stuff. I want 20 Elon Musk. I want a bunch of Elon Musk who trying to get out of South Africa and come here. We know a girl at our church, she got here on a nanny job. Her brother has been trying for 5 years to leave South Africa. He's white. And he can't get a job. He's applied for every job in the world, Amazon, you name it. He's tried to get a visa to get out of South Africa. So imagine you white, you in South Africa, you can't even get a job. The black people like, sorry about you, bro. Sorry about you. It's just that time. And your sister's over here in America because she got a nanny job. Sister done went ahead and married a man from Houston now. And you still can't get over in America long term. I really want to tell you, but I know you don't want to do it, but you might need to marry somebody American and come on over. Come on over. But you have to understand, we want those people. We want the people that have been applying. And when they get here, they're going to buy a house. They're going to buy a car. They're going to invest in themselves. They're going to go to school. They're going to pay that bill. That's the type of immigrants we want. We got plenty of people that need help. We're full of those. We don't want those. We don't need those. That's just the truth. We don't need those. I believe it. I'm getting called left and right by realtors who were slow to contact before. Yeah, crying tiger, they need the money now. Housing market been tripping. Now the rates came down. They got the call. Hey. Do you see how Texas allowed obstacle buildable lessons in elementary school? I mean, yeah. I mean, but that doesn't matter to me because when you let in one, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're going to have the Muslims doing it. You're going to have several religious groups trying to do it. I don't have a problem with it because most people try to put their children under 10 in Christian private schools. So they were going to hear that stuff anyway. All right. The average person is really not trying to have their kid at public school unless they just don't have the money. I literally know a couple, it's the husband works, the wife doesn't. They still put them kids in private school. And she been home with them for years. So it's like, y'all got to understand, people do not want their kids in private school with your kid. In public school, they know what's in public school. Teachers not paying attention. Leftover kids that have been hurt, damaged. Parents don't care. Ain't showing up PTA meetings. Recklessness. Lack of activities. Lack of opportunities. They don't want to be at public school. Please. For what? Unless you're in a small county, small state, small city, and everybody in the public school is doing well. It's a tech little area. You know, there's a few of them here in Austin where you're right down the street from Apple. Everybody's parents works down the street somewhere or is in some type of tech. You're going to a pretty safe school. Evictions and foreclosures are so bad at the DMV that the moving and hauling companies cannot put the belongings on the curb. Trash was piling up everywhere. Pamela, let me tell you something. Sounds like a fire party. That's what it sounds like. I'm trying to let you know, paperwork, documentation, it's a process to get you out of house. Out of an apartment, 2 weeks, get on out of here. You out. Went to court, you gone, done. The courthouse is so backed up on the apartments and the housing that Detroit was 5 months behind before COVID. Then COVID happened. They said, man, we 3 years behind. Oh, well, I got my tenant out. No, you didn't. They don't have to leave till the sheriff gets there. So let's say you got them out June 2023, whatever. The sheriff might not be able to come till October. So that person knows the way Michigan's set up that they won't let no outside person come put them at the house. Now, I know people and I know how they be. They basically terrorize the person, flatten their tires, break out windows, break the door down, do a lot of weird stuff so that the person is like, well, it ain't even worth staying over here. I might as well just take my stuff and go. I've seen that happen. I'm not naming no names, but I'm just telling you, like, there's several creative ways people get people out of a house. I seen somebody pay some hoodlums to throw rocks through the window. A different window every time. So that person got out the house. They'd rather pay for some new windows than you sit in their house. Now, that's on the rental side. Now, when you own the house, it takes years. It takes almost 4 years. It takes almost 4 years to get you through a foreclosure process, get you out. That's why 2008 was so violent. Because Countrywide and all these people were sued later, but they were like rubber stamping paperwork. They weren't even checking stuff. They were just rubber stamping it. Right now, there's a case of a woman in Houston. She's 85 years old. She's a nurse, black nurse. She used to own a actual medical clinic in Houston. Has a big old, beautiful, nice house. Somewhere 20 some years ago in 2012, she's on the phone with her husband. He dead now. And they saying a verbal contract to modify their mortgage. Nobody ever signed any paperwork. So she's been paying a lower amount for the past, I guess, almost 20 plus years, right? Paying this lower amount. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to foreclose now. Because you haven't been making the accurate payments for over 20 years. Or I'd say, what, 12 years? 2012 to 2024? 12 years. That's woman 85 years old. Come on now. So they hoping, hey, we just gonna get this old man house. We're gonna turn around and sell this house. Because the bank turned around and sold it to itself. The same house. Why? Because it's in Houston and the house is worth at least 1.2 million. It's a very beautiful house. This woman got it for about 300 something. Okay? So the bank, no, it can make money off this, but you're gonna see 10x that kind of shit going on in the next 2 years. Where they know the house is worth 700,000, you in it haggling them, ain't paid your mortgage for years on $200,000 mortgage because you got it before the pandemic. Baby, they gonna get y'all out. They gonna make this money. They gonna sell these properties. But it takes a long time with paperwork to get people out the house. Facts on facts. 9.9. Thank you for the 999 super chat. As what's his name that died? The tax plan, the 999 tax plan. You know, just 999. Just 9% on your state, 9% on your federal, 9% on your local. Vacation in Mexico so much Tulum built their own airport, but didn't have to pay rent or more. Come on. I mean, they put billions in Tulum. We were in Cancun, got in the Uber, drove over to Cozumel. We was going to drive even further. We were going to Tulum. It was down the street. They done built that place up. They put so much money in Mexico. Let me tell you something. If you think, just do the math. Because they always lie to y'all and say 11 to 13 million illegals. It's been 20 to 30 million illegals for years at this point. Okay. So you got about, let's just be nice, 10 million Mexican people sending home $100 a week for the past 25 years since the Bush has been out. George Bush been out, right? 25 years. Baby. That's why Mexicans don't come as much anymore. They don't need to. The economy jumping. Their cities are vibrant. They building a train that goes through the whole country of Mexico now. It's gonna hit up Tulum. It's gonna hit up Cancun. It's gonna hit all these places. They've been sending money home so long, it's crazy. They did the math. If they had 1 million Haitians, because there's only 9 million or 10 million in their country right now, you had 1 million Haitians here in America sending home $100 to $500 a week. They said Haiti would look like Miami in 5 years. Because it would just be so much money flushing the system. Now you're gonna say, America, that's crazy. It isn't. They paid the minimum wage in Haiti is 46 cents an hour. So you working for 46 cents an hour. So if I'm coming to Haiti and I'm at a resort and I pay you $5 tip just for bringing my drink, how much did you make? If you every day you show to work and you getting $50 a week, listen, I already told y'all there was a truck driver. One of our drivers we had, he brought on a buddy from Haiti. They driving the truck, team driving. He said, well, he's leaving. I said, where are you leaving to? Oh, he's going to Haiti for a few years. Why is he going to Haiti? Like, he need to be in the truck driving. Oh, well, he saved up $50,000. And he said he can live, he can go live off the next 5, 6, 7 years in Haiti. He don't need to work. And he was dead serious. Said if he need more money, he'll come back and drive trucks again. Y'all don't understand the conversion, man. Y'all don't understand. Xmas money is going to New Jersey tax liens, not the club. Bottles, I'm telling you. You get the tax lien course, baby. I mean, you can get my course. You can get anybody I share on the community walls course. You can get the Acre Boys. I'm just telling y'all, I know what works and what's going to happen over the next from January to March. These banks and these companies and these mortgage brokers are like, okay, Trump in there. Okay, he didn't raise his hand. Full on inauguration. Good. Hit the paperwork. Let's go, boys. January 20th, 21st, they're going to be like, they're going to be hitting that paperwork. You can enjoy your passport privilege, but them tariffs is going in. Congratulations. Just bought 100 acres of land. Congratulations. Hey, Pamela B. Somebody take a screenshot of this and send it to me. I love it. Hey. Okay. Wait a minute. There you go. I just got into cybersecurity. I'm in my late 50s. Thank you for Tech Tuesdays. Hey, congratulations to you because you put yourself there. I work for a major consulting firm, led a project transferring 70K six-figure jobs that are here in tech jobs companies like AWS, Microsoft, and Meta. It's a global marketplace for facts. I moved from California to Texas. We bought a house. DMV to change my license took 3 months. That's crazy. Not 3 months. Not a single baby mama. Not a single baby mama. While they spoke with Texas Public Safety and pushed interesting conversation, they coming in droves. They coming in droves. Listen, I want y'all to understand. Texas and Florida, the marketing is so hardcore on Texas and Florida that for the next 5 years, people gonna be coming here. I literally bumped into somebody the other day. They just came from Pittsburgh. Their mama was in town with them, helping them move in their house. I bump into people every other day here in Austin. I just moved here. I'm going to college here. I just got a job here. Y'all don't understand. It's like Atlanta, right? When people were talking in the 90s about moving to Atlanta, everybody was moving to Atlanta. You got people in the 2000s that finally got to Atlanta because they've been talking about it for so long, they just ain't never moved. It's the same with these people want to go out of the country. Think about it. Boomers own everything, consume evergreen. This machine don't go unless people are hiding and consuming. This machine will not work unless you have people buying homes, paying taxes, and basically going out here consuming. Yeah. Oh, it's people you can hire for sure. Squatting is on a whole nother level in Atlanta. Some creative document. Yeah, there's all kind of videos on people creating documents. Let me tell you something. You gonna squat on a bullet. You gonna squat on a pew 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 pew. I forgot. YouTube don't like you saying those words. You gonna squat on a pew pew pew. Keep playing with some of these people out here. That's why Atlanta was letting you do self foreclosures. Was it Atlanta or the county underneath Atlanta? Y'all let me know. One of the counties in Georgia was like, yeah, you can get them out of there. Foreclosure takes forever. I was in banking during the crisis. People were living free for 5 years plus. It's nasty out there. 6 months is fast now. Listen, it takes 3 years on average. I can go back and I might do a video series on it, but there was a bunch of people in Maryland who had been in a house for 10 years since 2008, right? Saying, oh, the economy and they were talking to them in 2019, like, hey, wait a minute, you ain't paying no mortgage in like 10 years. Oh, I paid some here, I paid some there. I always pay my light bill. Da 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 da. Like they pay their light bill religiously. I'm talking about married couples. This ain't no just one woman, one man person. This is married couples in a house, multiple kids, multiple cars in the front yard, no mortgage being paid. January 20th. It takes years. This is why when someone tries their hardest to advocate for you not to buy a home, I'm immediately red flag, ears perked up. Who is this person and who paid you to say that? Because tell me where y'all gonna listen. Let's say you make 40K a year, and for 5 years you ain't got to pay rent. How much money is that? Let's just do basics. Let me get my phone. Let's do basics. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, your mortgage is $2,300, and you don't pay it for a year. That's $27,000 in your pocket. Let's say you don't pay it for 3 years. Let's just say you having a hard time. That's $82,000. What did you do with your extra $82,000? Now you may say, Erica, what if their wife left a job? What if they did something happen to them? Well, this is why I tell y'all people can live off one income. They're choosing not to. They're choosing to buy the new car. They're choosing to do this stuff because if they really wanted to, the way this paperwork game is out here, you could live for a long time not paying that rent, not paying that mortgage. Long time. Very overwhelmed. They're very overwhelmed. Dallas, Texas is the home of the 30,000 millionaire, right? And I'm telling y'all, what's gonna happen? People gonna be putting solar panels on their property, so they ain't gotta pay their utility bills. Um, they're gonna be trying to insulate their homes to get the light bills down. They're gonna be moving grandma in. They're gonna be moving cousin Jenny and them in. They're gonna be renting rooms. They can put an ADU in the backyard, rent it out to somebody for $2,000. They're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. They were paper stamping subprime loans, AAA, leading into 2007 crash. Yeah. It is what it is. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. It's just a cheap way to invest. That's all. There's a bunch of us trying to live in Mexico now. Hey, we did a family reunion cruise this year to Mexico. We only went to Cozumel and Yucatan. That's crazy. I'm heading to, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I'm going to Japan next year. Yeah, trust me. I'm telling you, like, I get giddy excited when I have my little planner out. I'm like, oh, I'm going to all these places. I plan it super far in advance. Thank you for $10 super sticker, Pamela B. Haitians are in Mexico now. Yeah. Japan has little inflation, but housing is pretty much expensive. Right now, it's like 6 cents to a dollar. Like for every Japan piece of money, American dollar is 6 cents their money. That's why you have this uptake of people going to Japan. But you also have an uptake of y'all going over to Japan acting like y'all ain't got no sense. So Japan is putting these signs out: stop monkeying around on the train. Stop, be considerate of others, be quiet, all this other stuff. Um, I saw a video today. This black man touched this guy's clothes. I was like touched his shoulder, like touched his arm. And I was like, this is a whole nother country. They don't like you touching them. They don't want to be touched. What are you doing? But y'all gotta learn. Y'all gotta learn in person. If you go look up Carnival Cruises for Haiti, they take you to the White Sand Beach part and they take you to another part. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Erica for Secretary of Labor 2024. That's my whole thing. If you're living in a house for years and ain't paying no mortgage, I mean, it could be a car issue. It could be all kind of stuff. I try to give people these, these reasons. It takes 3 to 5 years to get foreclosed on, then the owner sue the bank, and the landlord tenant they stay more. Now Texas is a little bit faster. It depends on who your mortgage company is. If your mortgage company is in Texas, it's a little bit faster. If your mortgage company is, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, it might be a little faster, but on average, it takes like 3-4 years. All that Maryland, DC, Baltimore, all that stuff, those take really long time. I think because they're so close to Washington, DC, and they're close to a lot of paperwork. But yeah, I wouldn't drag my feet on any of these situations. So Lizzie, when you meet people like that, first thing you need to tell that lady is why she doesn't have homestead exemption. So let's say her taxes this year were $1,000, and then they went to 3,000. She's actually, if she's been in her home that long, she literally can get homestead exemption, and it can freeze her taxes. Right? You have people living in houses that are worth $1 million now, and legally, their house should be paying, $8,000 a year in property tax, but they're only paying $2,000 because they're older. So this goes back to personal responsibility. And I know it sounds terrible. You have these older folks, you have people's parents. No one's trying to Google or research how they can lower their taxes. People have this thing, well, I'm on the right path. But even if you're on the right path, if you sit still, you can get ran over. This is what it is. Listen, we did Tech Tuesday for 4 years. We did Tech Tuesday for 4 years. I'm a little bit tired of Tech Tuesday, to be honest. But we've done Tech Tuesday for 4 years. There's over 3 playlists of Tech Tuesday. You can go back and watch any of those Tech Tuesdays. They're all accurate. They're all information. You can go to the Breaking Into Tech Careers Facebook group. It's over 60,000 people in there helping each other all the time. It's absolutely free, no cost. Um, again, Just being honest. Like a lot of this stuff, we woke up 4 years ago. We woke up 4 years ago. If you're just waking up now, that's okay. But the end of this year, I think December, Tam, I don't know, you coming? I'm doing a Future of Tech panel on the channel. So it's like everybody's going to come in for a little bit and tell me what they think the future is for tech coming up 2025. So Tam, check your schedule. But I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm like I'm going to Japan. I'm going snowboarding in January. I'm going to be gone for big swatches of time. So that's why we did this kind of run up, countdown to the end of 2024. How many days left in the year? Somebody put in the chat. How many days are left in this year? Let me see. Okay. Oh, there's 5 weeks left. Let me see how many days. 39 days, y'all. 39 days. 39 days left in the year. 39 days left in the year. 5 weeks left in the year. I don't know what to tell you. Now, I think there's a video. There's a video camera stand I have. I'm gonna see if I can put my cell phone on it, and I'm gonna show you like how I'm going through my little calendar, how I'm planning out my year, how to get my year moving forward. Because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Somebody gonna wake up January 1st through March 1st. Erica, new year, new me. I want to do tech now. I want to get a new job. I want to join Digital Liberty Warriors group. I want to join Middleman to Millions. I want to make more income for my family. I want to have a better life. I'm ready to change now. We already been rolling. We already been rolling. We already been going. You're going to pay catch up on the train with your spare time. But this is why I know people make a lot of money on YouTube when they stay in one niche topic and talk about it for 10 years. Because there's people who are just waking up today like, hey, let's do it today. And that's okay. I welcome you on your journey. I can salute you for your journey. But I'm telling you, there's 39 days left in this year. We ordering products for our companies. We ordering things to ship to Amazon. We just did a shipment earlier today. We done did a bunch of stuff. And I just want y'all to understand, like that process, whatever you plan out for the next 2 years is what you will have. Whatever you can have, you can have. You say next 2 years, this is what my life look like. This is what the next year looks like. This is how many music concerts I'm going to go to. This is how many events I'm going to attend. This is how many, whatever you say you can have, you can have. When I already did the math, I was going to spend like $26,000 and amount of travel for next year. Already budgeted. I'm going to spend, really, it's more than 29, but that's for the sake of the argument. I'm going to spend $7,000 in massages next year. I'm going to spend X amount of, like, I already know. Because I sat down, I wrote it out, I've already planned it. This is what the year look like. This is how many times we're going to order supplements on Monday. This is how many times we're going to put our new brand products out. This is how many UGC videos we're going to do on every Monday. This is how many we're going to purchase, right? This is how much we're going to go forward on Mondays. This is how much we're going to do next year. So some content you're going to see is going to be pre-recorded. Some of it's going to be, the warehouse videos. Some of it's going to be what we're working on, right? If you're in the Wealth Wednesdays on School Group, we'll have our construction stuff over there. We'll post a lot of that over there. If you're in our Middleman to Millions group, we'll post as much. I have the renovation guy coming back. He'll be over there, okay? The Digital Liberty Warriors, we have training tomorrow. Oh, yeah, tomorrow, Saturday. We have training for Digital Liberty Warriors tomorrow and Middleman to Millions tomorrow. You should have got an email. Everybody inside the group already got an email. We will see you tomorrow. We'll be doing our training. We'll be talking about what y'all doing in the next 39 days, what you're building. Can you get it completed? How many affiliates do you need? Right? All this stuff you need to get done. All this stuff you need to get done and get moving in your direction, because the only person responsible for your life is who? You. And you all know that. So let's go down here real quick. I'm gonna close it on out. Which part of Japan? I'm going all over. Safety reasons. I can't tell you exactly where, but I'll be there for a long time. I'm gonna be there so long. I got some military friends who are there and some other folks I know there. But my grandpa and my grandma were stationed there for 7 years. They got married there. My dad and my uncle was born there. Like, trust me, Japan's been overdue. Somebody said Bitcoin predictions. I don't need any. Join us over at Wealth Wednesdays, and you can see my Bitcoin predictions there. You can see my crypto snapshots of the stuff I bought over there. You want to ask about oil and gas? You can do it over there. Every time people want like a free stuff like this, you can't give financial advice on YouTube. You can give what you think. All right. Nag said you at the beach. I'm about to be at the beach in a minute too. I need to get my products on Amazon and Walmart. My Shopify is doing great. However, I need to expand. Be in the group. Join us tomorrow and talk about it. I'm telling you, if you're ready to go, it's the sky's the limit for you. My crypto has shot up. Congratulations. Turned 200 into 4,000 since Trump. Congratulations. Yep. There's a couple black guys in the trunk in Japan doing all kind of stuff. Okay. So listen, you guys, this is your girl Erica Classic on Blogs. Thank you for joining me today. You've been a wonderful, amazing. There's been over 500 people in and out of here. Hit the like button on the way out. And if you're catching this video on the back end, hit replay button. Just let us know that you came in on the replay. Later, you guys. You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance, and guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who can do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done, and that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. It's Erica Williams.